Welcome to Talk Me Healthy. Each show, we invite a guest to explore a topic related to healthy living. They share their expertise and personal stories, and we learn from them how they turn their passion and knowledge into practical tips that you can use now to improve your health. I'm your host, Scherrie, founder of Diabetes Care Consulting. My goal is that each show you will hear something that will motivate you to make a small but significant change towards living a healthier and happier life. Hello and welcome to Talk Me Healthy. My name is Scherrie Keating. I'm your host. And today's show we're going to talk with Maydee Morales. And she is from Catholic Charities of Worcester County, correct?
Yes.
All right. And I have the brochure here and we're going to learn all about Catholic Charities today. And your role at Catholic Charities is actually Director of Emergency Services, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
I know you just came in last night from being out of the country,
Yes.
So you want to share a little bit about what you were doing for
Sure.
Catholic Charities out of the country?
Definitely. We were helping our sister office in Laredo, Texas to welcome migrants once they were released from the detention centers by the Border Patrol. We would welcome them, feed them, help them shower, choose new clothing, and they do about 200 people a day that they welcome.
Wow. And does different organizations have different, how long were you there, a week?
I was there for a week. Catholic Charities Worcester County has actually sent 8 staff members there, and we were sponsored by Catholic Charities USA.
And does different organizations take a time period? How does that work?
It's just volunteers, so anybody that wants to go can go. On their own or, through an agency. And they welcome them and they need a lot of help. So,
wow, what a wonderful thing for you to do.
How
was your experience there?
It was an amazing experience, welcoming families, reassuring them that they were okay, that they were safe, feeding them, helping them pick new clothing. Some of the families had been in their outfits for like a week.
Wow.
They weren't fed very well, so getting a nice warm meal. It was great. It was great just to be there.
And so where do they go from there?
So they actually have family members who are sponsoring them. So that we connect them with them. We have them make that phone call and say they're out, they're here, they're safe, and then they make arrangements for transportation. The families, they will call, we give them 3 bus stations, bus lines, and the airline, because the airport is very close by. And then they make the arrangements and we take them then to the bus stops or to the airport.
And Catholic Charities pays for all of that for them?
Catholic Charities CCUS. No, a lot of times the sponsor family is the one that pays.
Okay.
But if somebody doesn't have, then we ask for donations.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a lot about Catholic Charities, but before we get into that, I want to hear a little bit about your story and your journey and how you ended up working at Catholic Charities. Would you mind sharing that?
No, of course. So I've been in Worcester for about 30 years now.
Okay.
I worked at a community service agency called Centro Las Americas at the time, called Centro now. And I worked with young people and their families. And then I moved on to a health center in Worcester. And I worked with all the families trying to, who had chronic diseases and trying to make sure that they came to their appointments, breaking down the barriers. Is it transportation? Is it language? What is it? And then I worked in the HIV field for about 15 years or so, doing the same kind of case management. And then I saw this position available to oversee one of Catholic Charities area offices. They have 4 regional area offices, so it was to oversee the Worcester one. And I felt like that was a perfect job for me. I'm a people person. I love working with my community. I love being able to help them. And I applied and I got the job.
And how long have you been there for?
I've been there 3.5 years.
Well, it sounds like you have a passion for definitely what you're doing.
Definitely.
So is your background in human services or social work, or
it's in human services? Yeah,
okay.
So human services.
And is that what is the requirement to become a staff member for Catholic Charities?
Well, first of all, you have to have the passion to help people.
Definitely. That's really the main thing. But
a little bit of experience in the case management field.
Okay.
Depends on what program you want to apply for. But you just, you have to have a good heart.
Well, you definitely do. I can see that.
Thank you.
And a great smile, too.
Thank you.
So, Catholic Charities.
Yes.
How long has the organization been around? Is it a nonprofit organization? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, Catholic Charities is a nonprofit organization that has been under the Diocese of Worcester.
Okay.
And we have been around since 1950, incorporated since 1951, so about 68 years now. We've done the whole gambit. At the moment, we have 4 regional area offices. Worcester, Leominster, Southbridge, and Greater Milford. All of our offices, we have been working very hard in the last couple of years to make sure that we're providing the same kind of services consistently across the board. We offer food, clothing, case management, a little bit of financial assistance, diapers, personal care items. So families can walk through our doors and want anything pretty much. And if we don't have it at our site, then we have collaborators and partners in the community that we work with, and we will hook them up. We'll refer them to those services. We also have a Crozier House, which is a recovery program for men, and we're hoping to be able to open pretty soon a women's house in Leominster, also for recovery and mental health issues. We just recently received that grant. We have a senior aide program, which helps folks who are 55 and over to get back into the work field or learn new skills. So it's a training program more than a job.
Like vocational training, those kind of things.
Yes, so they do get paid a little bit. Minimum wage for 20 hours a week, but at the same time they're learning those skills. We have citizenship classes, we have ESL classes, we have an immigration department, and we have a parent aid program which helps families who are involved with DCF to stay with their kids, to learn parenting skills. We have an emergency family shelter with closed referrals from the Department of Housing, DHCD. And we have 12 families there. We have home care in all of our regional area offices too, in Athol and Sherman Falls. I always forget one.
Let me see if I was actually looking through some of the things that you do. Fuel assistance?
Yes. So some of our offices will complete the fuel assistance application.
Okay.
And some of our offices will provide a little bit of utilities assistance. So their gas, the electric, the oil. When the winters are very, very cold, then we provide assistance with oil. Yep.
And then SNAP, nutrition assistance.
Yep. So we all do SNAP applications for families who sometimes they don't think that they qualify, but when we're doing our intake and assessment with families, we look at the whole family. We try and do wraparound services. And if they don't have SNAP applications, but we think that they qualify, then through DTA, we have a contract that we complete those applications and help families make sure they have all the paperwork that they mandate and then get that food assistance, because a lot of the families that we work with are very food insecure. So that's where we're committed to those food pantries and that, and helping folks with the SNAP application. So most of the families that we work with are low income or marginally employed. And even though, most of them would have to work 2 full-time jobs at minimum wage in order to be able to meet all of their needs. So there's a great need and, that we're trying to help with. Another one of our big programs is the Diaper Program.
Okay.
Which is very near and dear to my heart.
Why is that?
So when about 2 years ago now, I heard a statistic that say that parents sometimes keep their kids in one diaper because they all day long because they don't have enough money to buy the diapers for the kids. So I have 4 kids myself. I never went without diapers. I can't even conceive that idea that a mom doesn't have diapers for their kids.
Just basic needs.
Basic need, and you can't buy those things with SNAP benefits. You can't buy that with WIC. Those programs are restricted to food.
You can't get diapers through WIC?
No, ma'am.
Really?
You can't, just the formula and the food. So, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's why I want to make sure I said that. So we have, Catholic Charities has committed to make sure that we have those supplies. So I'm always plugging my donations. I need donations for my diaper program.
I'll donate some diapers to you. We're going to talk after the show, and you can tell me what I need to do, because my daughter's raising 2 foster children, and you know, I can see all the things that those 2 children need, and the generosity of people.
Thank you.
She can go to an area and they have all of these supplies that she can get for her kids, and then return them when they outgrow them and get new things. So donations are huge. And you're a nonprofit, so you rely on people to donate everything.
So most of our the programs that we offered out of our regional area offices are through donations.
Okay.
So if I don't have any diapers, I can't give out diapers. If I don't have personal care items, I can't give those out.
Okay.
We do get lots of support from United Ways. The Webster Dudley one supports our Southbridge office. The Sturbridge, Southbridge, Charlton one also supports our Southbridge office. The Central Mass United Way supports, and the North County one.
So you need formula and things too, or does that come with the WIC, or does not everybody goes on WIC? So you would still need formula?
So we mainly need the diapers. We need some formula. We are able to get some of that stuff donated.
Okay.
But the diapers, the clothing, personal care items.
Okay. And so where would someone, if someone wants to donate, like say I'm going to bring you some diapers, where am I going to donate? You said you have Leominster, Worcester, Framingham,
Southbridge, and Greater Milford. So depending on where you live throughout Worcester County, then you can reach one of those offices, or you can always call our main office in Worcester on Hammond Street, and then you can be directed. Okay,
so since this show is in Sterling, either Worcester or Leominster is the closest. So where is the Leominster office?
It's on Mechanic Street in Leominster.
All right. So
right next to St. Cecilia.
Oh, okay. I know where that is. Okay. And then the Worcester office is located where?
On Hammond Street.
On Hammond Street. Okay. Good to know. Well, I'm going to be bringing some donations, definitely. Yay. So diapers, formula, clothing, personal care items, no furniture, that kind of thing.
So unfortunately, we have a lot of programs that we offer, so we don't have a lot of space for storage.
Okay.
So we can't use we can't hold the furniture long.
All right. And then the clothing, all sizes?
All
babies
sizes.
All the way up?
All sizes.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, you know what? You can count on me for donations for sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So your role, I was noticing, and I also looked at some other things that you do, holiday assistance and back to school supplies.
So back to school, another one of those programs that's dear to my heart. Yeah. I love, it's all through donations.
Okay, so that's other things that you want people to donate.
Yep, the parishes really help us throughout all of Worcester County and donate either funds or the items themselves. They do drives. But I love that it's all through donations, and we give babies their bags full of school supplies so they're ready on their first day of school, and they don't have to be the ones that don't have all the supplies that are mandated, because the school supply lists are pretty long.
And now they're electronics. I mean, when I sent my kids to school, it was pens and paper and those kind of things. But today they need laptops and all sorts of electronic devices now. So
we have
it's expensive.
Yes, very much so. And so we are very grateful that we have one specific parish, St. Luke's out in Westboro, that supports our Worcester office with funds in order for us to be able to purchase some of those electronic calculators.
That's calculators and all that. Wow.
Those scientific calculators are like $80.
Very expensive. I know. That's expensive. So any school supplies can be donated too. Oh, that's good to know.
And we're revving up for that now.
Yes,
so
that's what I was thinking.
In June and July, we gather all those resources, and then in August, the third week in August, right before school starts.
Okay. So, and we're going to put all of your contact information on the show so that people will know what's the best way to contact you if they have any other information that they need to make a donation. Should they just contact the main office or the local office?
They should feel free to contact the local office if that's what they're closest to, but they can also always contact me. At the main office.
Okay, so the best way to reach you would be by phone or just call the main number?
Main number is fine.
Okay, and what number would that be?
508.
Okay.
798.
798, yeah.
0191.
Okay, and we'll put that on the show. And is there a website they can find out more information too?
Yes, we're actually just revving up our new website. We're going to be putting it out, I think, in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
www.ccworc.
ccworc.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's for the Worcester, or is that the main? That's the main
Sorry.
website?
Yep, that's the main website. It has all of our programs there.
Okay, great. And then they can find out more information about donating, and whether it's financially or, things that you need on this list that we talked about.
Yep.
So you're in emergency services. So tell me what your role is there.
So I oversee the 4 offices in our family shelter. So I make sure that we're consistent about the programs and the processes that are being done in each of those area offices and our shelter.
Okay. All right. And what do you like the best about your job? Besides the diaper program. What's the most rewarding part?
I think the most rewarding part is seeing the smile on people's faces when we help them. Seeing that sigh of relief when somebody comes in and says, I don't have my rent. I don't have all of my rent. I just need a little bit because I was out sick from work. Or my car broke down, so I put the money to fix my car so I could go to work, and then we help them with that little piece of their rent, that utility, so it doesn't get shut off. And then they're like, oh, wow. And then they find out about all the other services we have. A lot of people don't know we have the diapers. A lot of people don't know we have the food. So when they walk through that door and they are able to walk out with not only, their secured housing, a little bit of food, maybe their utility paid.
That's wonderful.
They feel good,
Absolutely. So who qualifies for these services?
Everybody.
Is there a financial cutoff, or do they have to make a certain amount of money or less in order to qualify?
Nope.
No.
There is no. There are some programs that have some income guidelines, but most people that walk through our doors meet those.
Right.
So anybody can come. If you're working and you're having a hard time making ends meet, you should come. We have no restrictions on some of our funding, so we can help with that.
So what's the process? I need help. I hear about this great services that you offer. I walk in your door. What happens then?
You're going to sit down with a case manager. They're going to do a complete intake and assessment. They're going to ask you some questions about what's going on in your situation. Where are you? Where aren't you? What do you think can happen? Sometimes people have paperwork from like the court, the housing court. So we'll review those. And then we just start saying, we have this, we have this, we have this, or you can do this, you can do that. So,
and do you work with other agencies like to refer people that's for services that you can't meet? Do you have other organizations that you work with that you plug them into? Yep.
So every area office and program has connections with community providers and collaborators in those areas. So like our Leominster office works very closely with the St. Vincent's de Paul. Our Worcester office for utilities works very close with fuel assistance. We work very closely with community legal aid for people who have issues with their benefits, and it's more than what we can handle. So.
Tell me about a success story that you remember. I'm sure there's many, but does one stick out in your mind over something else? Without violating HIPAA, of course.
Of course. So there's a woman who comes in, and she's undocumented, and she has 3 girls who have documentation, and is not able to make ends meet. She lives in an apartment, 3-bedroom apartment with 3 families, her brother, her sister, family, and hers. She hears that through a word of mouth that she can get SNAP benefits. So she comes in.
And that's the nutrition assistant, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So she comes in and says, I need some help, and I heard my girls can maybe get this. And so we filled out a application for her SNAP benefits, and then a week later she came back and said, I got $500 in SNAP benefits. I can feed my kids.
Wow, that's wonderful. Is that a one-time thing, or is that something that she just reapplies for as needed?
Yep.
Or is there a maximum benefit that people can have when they come into your organization? Like, okay, you've already had this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you get because we need more for other people, or how does that work?
So all of our benefits are available to everyone. The food is on a monthly basis.
Okay.
The SNAP benefits you recertify in 6 months.
Okay.
Every 6 months you have to recertify, send all your documents in. We do try and spread the wealth because we don't have a lot of funding.
Right. That's kind of what I was saying. At. You said it better than I did, but yeah, that's what I meant.
So we do kind of keep it to one time in a 12-month period that we give you cash funding, financial assistance. But everything else, food, folks can come every 30 days. Diapers, they can come every 30 days. Of course, sometimes we have families who have been placed in shelter in our areas, but they're from Boston. They're from the Cape, so they come with nothing because they're only allowed to bring 2 bags with them to the shelter. So those families, we let them come in the beginning, every 2 weeks or so, in order to, while they settle in, while they register children in school, while their cases for benefits get transferred to whatever area they're in. But for most of the time, it's every 30 days.
That's so, like, it must be, like, they feel the weight of the world on their shoulders. And then they walk in your door and they're like, wow, I have a chance.
Yep, exactly.
It's like giving them a chance to succeed.
Yeah.
That is.
And for some family, it prevents homelessness. So most of our programs are homelessness prevention programs, so it prevents them from ending up in a shelter because they need $200, $300 to meet that rent because they had to spend it in that car repair because they were out of work because they were sick.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I just had to bring my car for brakes and air conditioning, so
Right?
I get that. It really puts a dent in your monthly budget. But it's things that people may not have extra to do, so they take it out of their, basic need money.
Yeah, most people work paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Boy, you guys are doing really wonderful work.
Thank you.
It must be gratifying to go to work every single day.
I love my job.
I can
love
tell.
Working for Catholic Charities.
I can tell. And you've been there 3 years.
Yeah.
And are you multilingual or bilingual, or do they have people because there's a lot of people in the area that are non-English speaking.
Yeah.
So
all of our offices have dual language staff, which speak English and Spanish.
Okay.
For the most part.
And do you have interpreters for those that speak another language, or are you connected? Because there's other languages I know. I'm a nurse, and so I know there's Laotian, Portuguese, so there's a lot of other different languages in this area. So how do you deal with that?
So we get very creative. And we love technology.
Yes, technology is great. They have those video cameras where you can talk to an interpreter in like multiple languages.
Yeah.
Is that what you use?
So we actually use like Google Translate.
Okay.
And the Worcester office, that's the main office that I worked in. There were a lot of folks who spoke Arabic.
Ah.
So when they would come in, if no one spoke any English, or if we couldn't, hand sign signals and all this kind of stuff, then I would type it up in Google Translate, and then they would read it and then, give me an answer and stuff. So we try and break down all the barriers, So we're giving out food, we're giving out diapers. Right. There's a need for those. Yeah. So.
Well, I just love everything that you're doing. So what else do you want to tell me about Catholic Charities besides all of those wonderful things? You really are changing lives.
Yeah.
And that is really the bottom line. Yeah. You're helping people that have no place to turn, and they can come to you and have all of their needs met.
Yeah.
And for free.
That's right, for free.
So I hope that a lot of people take advantage of this service that you have. Do you feel like it's well utilized, or do you think it's underutilized?
I think that about 2 or 3 years ago, it might have been underutilized. I think that our new executive director, Tim McMahon, has made a commitment to let the Worcester community know, and I've definitely made a commitment to let all of our community knows what we're doing, that we're here. We're working closely with parishes. We're extending our reach to other new parishes in our communities, and letting them know that we're here for them, for their parishioners, for folks in the community. All of our area offices go out and participate with community meetings. We set up tables at different outreach events so that the community knows what we're doing and that we're here, and we have all of these things to help and serve them. So the word's getting out there. And you have us here today.
I was going to say, this show will help too,
yes,
because
definitely.
we're on different, they take the show and put it on different stations as well. And so, I'm glad that we could be a part of helping you, and I'm definitely going to call you and do some donations, because I understand the importance of that. I have a new granddaughter, and, it's funny because she just had a formula change, and so they were wondering what to do with the other formula. So now they know. I can talk to them about that. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, you know what? It's been such a pleasure having you on, and I'm so happy that you came on and we're getting the word out, because I feel like it's such a great opportunity for people in need. And if people don't know about it, then that's a shame.
Yes.
So
thank you so much for having us here. We love getting the word out. We love letting people know that we're here, we're welcoming, and come on down.
All right, so donations. So everybody, donations. They need diapers. They need personal care items. They need clothing. What else was on the list of needs? Clothing and diapers were the big one. And
the school supplies.
The backpacks, filling the backpacks. Okay. And formula.
Yep. And at Christmas time, we do toys.
Okay,
we're also
so
very
toys.
much supported, work with Toys for Tots and the Marines and folks that just walk through our doors.
And just drop off unwrapped gifts?
Unwrapped gifts.
Unwrapped gifts. Okay.
Yes, because we let families choose their gifts.
Oh, you do?
For their kids.
So. Oh, that's so nice. And I assume in the winter you need hat and gloves and scarves and coats and all of those things.
Yep. So at the Christmas time, every child that walks through our doors goes out with a set of gloves, hats, mittens, socks.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. So, contact number again.
508.
Website, 508. Phone number, 508.
798. 0191.
Website.
www.ccworc.org.
.org.
Oh.
Or .com. Is it .com or .org?
Oh, it's .org. Sorry.
.org. Okay. Here we go. So it's .org. All right. So, you know what? Thank you for all the work that you do, and for the wonderful, just the wonderful things that you're doing to change people's lives and to give them hope and to give them a chance.
Thank you. That's what it's about.
Thank you for
having us here and letting us spread the word.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
And so please, if you can help, please do so. We'll have the number, the website, and we will, they will accept any donation. So please, if you can, financially.
Or if you need help.
If you need help, they're there for you. Please utilize the service. It's there to help you. And so remember for today, to live your best life every day, starting today. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Scherrie Keating. Have a wonderful day.